Hey guys, welcome back. Mike Troll, Amsoil dealer. And if you remember this '07 Honda Pilot, I put the Amsoil bypass oil filter system on this. It's been about 13 months. And so with COVID and everything, there actually hasn't been that many miles put on this. It's about 5,800, but it's been, like I said, it's been 13 months. Short trip driving, you know, stuff where the oil doesn't even get fully warm, lots of stop and go, idling. So it's pretty much city driving in Clearwater, Florida. Unlike my '03 Accord that's almost exclusively highway. And you can subscribe if you'd like, check out some of those videos. I've done quite a bit on the Accord. But anyway, so what we're gonna do is take an oil sample today. We've got our sample kit over here from Amsoil. And so there's a little bag that you mail it, and it's got instructions. You got this form that you fill out with all the information, but you can actually do this online, and they actually encourage you to do it online. So here's the sample bottle, and on this car we don't need a suction pump because with my bypass oil filter system I have a sample valve installed, and so I'll take that out so you can see it. There are 2 videos documenting this whole installation. It was quite an ordeal with the oil pressure sending unit being stripped out. But anyway, we got it. It's good. No leaks. It's been on here for 13 months. The oil comes up from the back of the engine and comes in this side, and that's where I wanted to pull the sample from before it goes through the filter and gets super cleaned one more time. And then, just to review, that returns over here to the oil fill cap. That is a swivel fitting, and you take the cap off and drill into it, and it makes a nice clean looking installation. This bracket is not a clean looking installation. That was my hodgepodge. I'm not a fabricator. So we'll go ahead and, we're gonna check the oil real quick. All right, so the oil, this Pilot does use oil. Unlike my '03 Accord, doesn't use a drop. This Pilot consumes oil. I don't know if that's a thing with all '07, '08 Pilots or not. Comment and tell me if your Pilot uses oil. But anyway, so I've probably added a quart and change over the year, I'm gonna say. So not exactly ideal, but it's done it since we bought the car. But I know it's about a quart low now, but I wanted to take the sample first before I add oil because I want to see just how bad this oil is after 13 months. Even though it doesn't have that many miles, like I said, it was short trips, stop and go, idling, and so as you can see, we're still in the safe zone. Well, just barely. We're basically at the add 1 quart mark, but I want to go ahead and take this sample before I add oil, which is going to give, you know, I want to give you guys, you know, I want you guys to see what this oil is without, you know, if I add a quart, it's going to make the oil sample look better than it really is right now. So, all right, don't splash your eyes when you do this, but there's no cap on this, and I just want to clean this thing out before we pull our sample. So a little bit of solvent in there should flush that out. Don't get it on your rubber hoses and stuff. So I'm going to take a scrap container and run a little bit out in here before we take our sample. Thanks, buddy. All right, so I'm gonna open it. Yep, see, there we go. So we got some oil just to leave it on, buddy. So that's just to flush out. That'll be discarded. Right there. Now I'm going to take the sample. Oh goodness. Whoa, that really comes out of there. Obviously, because it's under pressure. Oh, hope I'm not making a huge mess here. All right, you can shut it off, buddy. So we're gonna just clean that and not spill it. And there we go. There's a nice oil sample. Fill line. Oh wow, we are right at the fill line. Maybe a hair below, but all right, so there's that mileage. We're at 154, 222. And let's just verify that there's no leaks after taking the sample. I wiped everything and cleaned it up again because I did spill a little. Yeah, the angle on this valve I did was not ideal. So now obviously you could easily take an oil sample right here, you know, taking that out and just fill your bottle with that. But you know, it's nice to have this. I mean, another 90, I guess I could have put another 90 on there and had the thing hanging, you know, downward this way, pointing downward would have been ideal. So just a thought, if you're gonna do it, there's options when you install this, as it is a custom deal. So yeah, and if you want details on the installation, including you know, back on the back of the motor is where you can't see it now, but go back to my older 2 videos on this, and I use a 1/8 BSPT fitting, and it tees off of the oil sending unit. But yeah, they are tapered threads, 1/8 BSPT. So here's the kit that I used on my Honda, and this is a universal kit, the BMK21. So it's really up to you how you want to install it, and just go back to my couple of videos I did on the installation, and that'll give you a lot of info. I'll put links both to those videos and directly to this filter system down in the first comment below. And here's the motor oil we're using in the Pilot. You can definitely go with the 520 that is recommended, but I like going with the 0W20, and that's just my preference. Alright guys, so here it is all packaged up. I didn't have time to get it, it's like a couple days later. We sampled it on 320 at 21, but there's the mileage and 13 months on the oil, total miles on the vehicle. I put that I've added 1.5 quart top off oil over the 13 months. Lube change, filter change, I put no, but I asked right here, and they tell you in their results. They give you, you know, change oil or oil's good, and they'll tell you about the filter as well. There's the product code Amsoil ASM, signature 0W20, and I put my sump capacity as 5.5 to 6 because with the addition of the bypass filter, it increased my capacity by over a quart. So, and yeah, I wasn't able to do the form online. For some reason, my account, I wasn't able to log in. So anyway, so we're gonna mail it. I gotta go to UPS, probably Houston would be the closest, but there's also an Edmonton, Alberta, and oh gee, what's the other one? Salt Lake City. But anyway, so there's my component ID 07 Pilot. You just make something up, call it whatever you want. You know, if you have a fleet of trucks, obviously, probably use the truck number or whatever. So guys, I'm excited to see what happens with this, and I want to reiterate that, you know, I'm kind of, you know, this is the nitty gritty. We're gonna see, I mean, if the oil's still good or if it's not. Like I said, I could have topped off the oil with a quart of fresh oil, and then that would have made the sample look better, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to get a real sample and see how this oil is held up. So we shall see. Got to take this to UPS. Now the best way to order these oil analysis kits, in my opinion, is order them already UPS prepaid. That way you don't have to go and do all that. You could just drop them in a UPS drop box if you have one of those near you. But yeah, this one came for free with the bypass kit. There was a card you mail in, and they sent me a non-postage paid one. So anyway, looking forward to the results, guys. And subscribe, or, you know, be sure to come back and check this stuff out, because it's going to be interesting either way. And like, comment, share. I know a lot of you are probably thinking this bypass system is overkill on a small gasoline engine, and yeah, you're right to some extent. I mean, that Honda would probably go 300,000 miles. Anyway, we know that about Hondas. I did it as an exercise. I did it because I'm an Amsoil dealer, and I wanted to, that's the first time I've ever used or installed a bypass oil filter. So I wanted to have it on at least one of my vehicles, and hey, keeping those small particles out of the oil can only help. And you think about your VTEC, think about all the little VTEC passageways and your spool valves and different things that, you know, you keep that oil analytically clean. A lot of you are also thinking, why don't you just change your oil every 3,000 miles? And guess what? In 3,000 miles, you are getting a lot bigger than 2 micron particles in your oil. I guarantee that. So using this bypass filter and extending the oil drains, believe it or not, I mean, oil analysis is going to tell how that oil is doing. It doesn't matter the color of the oil. What matters is wear metals, oxidation, viscosity, whether or not there's fuel dilution, water, etc. I mean, it spells it out. So we're going to see yay or nay if that oil is still good. So thanks, guys. Alright, guys, so we got our sample. It is off to Houston, and yeah, I'll put a link down below. This kit was not postage paid, so I had to pay for that, but the kits that are, you know, either postage paid or UPS paid are a lot more convenient, in my opinion. But check the first comment below for the product links and you know, my website and stuff, and all things Amsoil. Subscribe, guys. Stay tuned. Alright, so if you're looking for this stuff, it's easy to get. You can go to my website, numberonesynthetic.com. There's a link down in the first comment. I'll have links, direct links to these products, and you can look up your vehicle, type in the year, make, model, and engine, and you'll get a list of
of the products Amsoil recommends. If you don't mind, there's my dealer number, 146-3115. If you go through Amsoil.com, it's going to ask you for who referred you, and I would love if you would put my name and or dealer number. That dealer number is probably the best thing, 146-3115. But I appreciate it.